I missed the first part.
Would you like to see the?
Oh, the NCAA?
Would you like to have a competition committee like the NFL rather than a rules committee?
It's a great question. I just work under the parameters of what we're given. I was asked to be on that committee a couple of years back before I ever made a move here, and something I really enjoyed. Obviously, during the out of season, because of some decisions were made, it brought a lot of attention to that committee. Probably, well, I honestly thought a year ago when we had the ejection, with a targeting foul, I thought that was a huge thing. That it hit some obviously resistance, but ended up being a very positive thing that they modified just a little bit. So the introduction of what we talked about this year, I'm sure it's going to have that initial shock, and maybe it'll grow forward.
Right now that this is going to be a year where
Nice time.
thank you, change the rules because you want to change them. But if you could pick rules that you would like to change, or even have called more closely, what really gets?
I think, Andy, to be quite honest, and this doesn't just feed into my obviously stances, anything that's player safety driven, I think that's the part of when I was on the NCAA rules committee, the part that was kind of cool that I didn't even realize, I bet you most coaches don't even realize, is 1 year it can change rules broad-based, do anything at all, and then every other year the only rules that can be changed are player safety driven. And that really kind of took me as a head coach to step back and say to myself, this really is what our agenda needs to be, is player safety driven, and I'll never waver from that. So I continue to say and enforce that anything that we can do to change the culture of our sport, to give player safety the highest priority is what, as coaches, I think our number one responsibility.
The one thing some guys have mentioned is blocking below the waist. Is that something that you'd like to see change?
I think so. No, I think blocking below the waist as between the tackles, and as long as you're in front of somebody, I think it's part of the game that it just needs to be there. I think if you eliminate blocking below the waist, it would really put a disadvantage. I can't believe I'd say it for the offense, but it would definitely change the game, because even like our defensive players would probably tell you, like during the spring, the first 3 weeks, and when we go to fall camp, the first 3 weeks, I usually do not allow below the waist football. I don't allow cut tackles. I don't allow cut blocking, and the defensive players just play so much faster in certain arenas because there's not the threat of being cut, and it would really change the game.
Do you hope to